guys are ready. They were loud last night. They'll be loud this afternoon. It's Game 2 of the National League Championship Series for you on Fox. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. I get to sit next to a Hall of Famer for this series and the next. His name is John Smoltz. Last night we talked a lot about all the pitching matchups and all the maneuvering by the managers. For Milwaukee, it's a chess game, and in my opinion, Craig Counsell used his big piece last night. Josh Hader worked 3 innings. That means he's not available for this game. That's a big deal for Game 2.
That is a big deal, and yes, he has a lot of chess pieces, and he's going to use them in order to win this series. He's got to bank those wins. But how costly will it be if the series plays out? The relievers were fantastic. Look how many he had to use. Look at the amount of pitches that they used, and it was a tight game at the end. The Dodgers rallied. But for Milwaukee, they want to create chaos. They want to create matchups. It's just going to be a matter of, if the series goes long, does this come back to hurt them a little bit?
That right column, by the way, added up to 164 pitches. And now on the other side, the Dodgers last night had their most decorated pitcher going in Clayton Kershaw. But for this game, they have their hottest pitcher going in Hyunjin Ryu.
I think so, and he has shown that the last 3 weeks. This guy is not afraid of any moment. He's pitched big games before. His heartbeat is low, and really the ERA is extremely low. When you think about him playing catch on the mound, that's what it looks like. And for the Dodgers to be successful, they absolutely need their starters to give them innings. This is really a simple formula for each club, but opposite formulas for success. Dodgers need their starters.
Well, Ryu tonight for the Dodgers, and it's Wade Miley for the Brewers, and they need some length out of him here in Game 2 because of all that work out of the bullpen last night. Talked about it last night. These guys are rolling in, ready to go. Glad you're with us today on Fox. Let's hope it's as good a game as we saw last night. It was fun. Assistant is sponsored by Taco Bell and by Hankook Tire. Chase down your passion, never halfway. Different looking Dodger lineup tonight for game 2. We'll go through the reasons why as we get into the ball game. Chris Taylor leads it off. Justin Turner, a rough game 1. David Freese starts again in the middle. Manny Machado, Matt Kemp, Kike Hernandez, Yasiel Puig, Austin Barnes, the catcher, Yasmani Grandal, a rough game 1, and Hyunjin Ryu, the big left-hander, will pitch in game 2. Let's send it down to the field and check in first with Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. 2 changes for the Dodgers. Austin Barnes in at catcher for Yasmani Grandal, who gets a 1-game breather. Barnes excels at catching the low strike, but he has only 2 at-bats the past 3 weeks. Yasiel Puig also in, rare start against the lefty, but expect Cody Bellinger and the rest of the Dodgers left-handed hitters to be part of a hockey-style line change once the Brewers turn to their righties. Now, for more on the Brewers starter, here's Tom Verducci.
1 day, 1 pitch. That's how precisely Wade Miley turned his career around. July 25th, 2017, already down 5-0 with a 5.5 ERA. He said, I've got to try something different. He tried a cut fastball, got a strikeout of Evan Longoria, and quickly that pitch went from a stranger to his best friend. He throws 41% cutters, and with the help of his best friend, he allowed only 3 home runs this year, just 2 in the first half of the season, none in the last 2 months. Guys?
All right, Tom and Ken, thank you. Who was your best friend, John?
Mr. Slider.
Mr. Slider.
Yeah. I'm so thankful for it.
Dear Mr. Slider, thank you for being my friend and getting me to Cooperstown. This is going to be a fun one, and with the sun shining brightly outside, we have plenty of shadows expected throughout the course of the afternoon. For coverage of this game in Spanish, please tune to Fox Deportes. Glad you're with us on Fox, and off we go. Chris Taylor will lead it off, then Justin Turner, then David Freese. Miley went 5-2 in the regular season, a good postseason start against Colorado. Didn't go 5, and that's not a surprise, and he misses with ball 1.
Well, he wants to give the illusion of strikes. And what I mean by that, the inside part to right-handers is going to be super important. He wants the hitters to swing at pitches that end up as a ball, whether it's a changeup away or cutters in. He's really going to work both sides of the plate, and he's going to try to stay out of the middle of the plate.
Taylor was ready to pounce on that 2-0 pitch. Out in front of it, pulls it foul. Chris had a nice night last night, 3 for 5. Did commit an error out in left field. A 4-error night. 1 of 2 for the entire year for the Dodgers defensively. 2-1. A strike. 2-2.
That's what he needs. He needs the inner part. He'll change up his speeds with that curveball. And he rarely will throw just straight out fastballs. High percentage is cutters.
Struck him out to start the day.
Change up. Doesn't move a ton, but it's enough of an off-speed pitch to keep these Dodger hitters who are aggressive in the zone from connecting with it if he continues to keep it on the outside part of the plate.
Good job by Miley to come back from a 2-0 count on the leadoff hitter, and now we'll deal with Justin Turner, who struck out 4 times in the game last night. That's the first time in his big league career. Came at a bad time, obviously. 975 total games in his first 4K game. Dave Roberts not concerned. He said he's a smart hitter. He'll adjust. We'll see what he does. And as the sun pops out on a 50-degree day outside, you've got shadows all over the infield. 1-1.
Well, yesterday's game, the importance of the Dodgers getting an early lead speaks for itself because they didn't have that lead and brought in Josh Hader. There's going to be no evidence of Josh Hader available today, so a little more freedom for the Dodgers. And I think what it does, because the most important inning for the Brewers is the first, which sets up their game plan of relievers, you have to pay attention as the Dodgers to every single pitch, so the at-bats become that much more important because you know you're playing a shorter game with their bullpen usage.
But it just got a different feel in this game. Along those lines, that one is squirted down the right field line, and Turner will think about it but pull up, as Yelich did a nice job to get to that ball fast. A one-out single for Turner, and he's on for David Freese.
Well, that's a better sign. Even though the ball got in on Turner, he didn't think about pulling it.
And that's exactly what Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, said he would do. Go the other way, try to get locked in again. And here is David Freese. As I mentioned last night, was the MVP the last time the Brewers were in the NLCS, and he was on the winning side for St. Louis. A short lead by Turner. And Wade Miley, who likes to work at a nice rapid pace, deals with Freese, who did this combined with Pittsburgh and the Dodgers. Just under 300. Strike one.
Well, there's a lot more familiarity of the Dodgers lineup with their opposing pitcher than for the Brewers against Ryu. A lot of guys on this club have seen Wade Miley. The difference is the older Wade Miley threw harder and didn't have quite the repertoire that he has now. He's more of a pitcher, of course, not with that velocity that he once had, and the cutter he's now fallen in love with.
Here's a 1-1. Freese hits it in the air into right center field. Back at the wall. It is caught by Kane. 2 out. He was mad that he missed a ball to end the night in right center last night. He went up and got this.
Definitely a home run. This is a great park to run home runs because the fence is at perfect height. When you got an athlete like Kane, he takes it back. That is way better than any double play a pitcher can get. That is the pitcher's best friend.
Last time the All-Star game was here in Milwaukee, was in this ballpark, and Barry Bonds hit one. Torrey Hunter went over the wall and brought one back. That was just, it looked too easy. I mean, that was just like a walk in the park for Lorenzo Cain. That's how good the center fielder he is. And by defensive metrics, he's the best in the league at covering ground and getting outs out in center. He was on our post game last night. 40 minutes after the game, was still mad at himself for not coming up with that ball in right center that went in and out of his glove.
Well, he covers a lot of ground out there. Of course, he's got speed, the athleticism to play center field. A unique center field here with just the middle part of center and that gap kind of squared off where the deepest part is.
1-1. By the way, Manny Machado's at the plate. Last night went deep. Had a couple of hits, drove home 3, homered in his first at bat to give the Dodgers a short-lived 1-0 lead. And he's up on the count here. He'll be looking for a pitch as it goes to 3-1.
Well, in this year's matchups, 18 balls were thrown to Manny Machado by Mr. Miley, so he definitely is trying to fish.
He thought he had walked. He has to come back.
Caught the outer corner. What a changeup.
So a full count and the runner at first. Turner will go. Here's last night on a ball hit by Chris Taylor in the 9th inning. Could have ended it. Went for an RBI triple. In and out of his glove.
That play, he had to cover close to 100+ feet. This play, not as much. And as you mentioned, looked like he had it the entire way.
And he's smiling now. And could eventually anyway with the frustration last night because of that 6-5 Brewer win. Whatever he said to that glove in right center field last night, well, it worked here in the first inning in game 2.
I always felt for a pitcher that was frustrating when you go ahead and show the pitch you were going to throw and time was called and you didn't recognize it. Do you come back with that same pitch or do you alter?
Well, it was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. It didn't count. Shattered bat. Tough play for the out as Shaw gets it done. And Miley has a scoreless first thanks to Lorenzo Cain in deep center. Machado is down 1 bat. We're down 1/2 inning, no score. An easier way to get things done with just your voice, and is sponsored by Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards across cars, trucks, and SUVs. And by T-Mobile, whether you're home or away, T-Mobile has you covered. Talk about having you covered. That's what Lorenzo Cain does for his pitcher. He has him covered in center, and he leads it off. Yelich bats second. Braun hits third. In the middle, Aguiar. Then Moustakas, Shaw, Kratz, Arcia, and Miley, the bottom 3. Lorenzo Cain has been all over the place in this series already. Tough play, good play. Kike Hernandez 1 out. Didn't panic with the speed of Cain, who was on base 4 times last night.
Because of the speed, you know your internal clock as an infielder is I've got to be quick and accurate. And that's exactly in the first pitch. There's nothing better than a first pitch out, especially in the postseason, just to get yourself checked in. And Ryu has the weapons: fastball, curveball, changeup.
He was signed by the Dodgers in December of 2012. As Yelich takes a ball inside. He was a 14-game winner in his first year, 14 wins in his second year. Then he had a torn labrum in 2015, didn't pitch. Elbow tendonitis in 2016, only made 1 start. Had Tommy John surgery when he was a junior in high school. Last year won 5 games. This year dealt with a tear in his groin and didn't come back until late in the year. And when he came back, he was lights out great.
Yeah, and you don't realize how big he really is till you get in the box and look at him. And his fastball's quick. It's not 96, but it's quick because easy delivery.
Yelich fights it off and gets a base hit to left. His first hit of this LCS, went 0 for 4 last night.
Yelich is so tough to defend. You really can't put any kind of shift on him, and he can hit the ball to all areas of the park. And even though they are moving their third baseman over to the shortstop side, he rewards himself by hitting it to that spot.
Now fired up Ryan Braun, who had a hit last night. He is the franchise leader in career postseason games played. This is his 20th. And he is at the top or near the top of all the important categories in offense as he takes a strike on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Ryu.
And what Braun has done against left-handers, very difficult to strike him out. He's been really good this year on putting the ball in play. He only struck out 10 times against left-handers, so that side of the plate or the arm, he feels much better against left-handers.
Strike 2 on Braun. Home plate umpire is Alan Porter. The crew chief is Jerry Davis at first. Hunter Wendelstedt is at second base. At third, it's Jim Wolf. Brian Gorman in left. Scott Berry worked the plate. He's in right. Back in New York, the replay official is Greg Gibson. 0-2 on Braun. Runner at first, 1 out. Breaking ball got him, and Braun knew it before he was called out. 2 down. He was had early.
Yeah, real good break on this. It's late. The ball looks like it's way a ball to the hitter and then comes all the way back on the outside part of the plate. You see the spin and completely fooled Braun. And a rare strikeout against the left-handed pitcher.
And now Jesus Aguilar, who went deep last night, flipped one over the wall and right. It didn't seem like a big deal at the time. That made it 6-1 in the 7th. He hit it off Urias. But that home run and that run proved to be the difference on the night in a 6-5 win. Two hits this postseason. In 4 games, both left the park. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Ryu looked sharp.
Giving respect to Ryu right there on a changeup away. Changeups are the vulnerable kind of kryptonite for Aguilar against left-handers. He really likes the fastball.
So from the changeup to a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, 1-2. Ryu doesn't typically work between starts. He threw a side session, a bullpen on Wednesday, which surprised his manager, Dave Roberts. We talked to him before the game. He said typically that's not the big lefty. He just goes by feel. He's confident in what he does, what he has, saves it for the game. This one into right. Easy for Puig. And we're through 1 scoreless in Milwaukee. And a peek from above. Beautiful day outside. Downtown Milwaukee. No score. Wade Miley got around a one-out hit by Justin Turner and then was helped by his defense as Lorenzo Cain went up and over the wall to take a home run away from David Freese. Sharp inning by Ryu in the bottom half of the first. No score. Kemp chops it to third. Moustakis, one out. Kemp had 2 hits last night, 0 for 1 in game 2. Fox Sports supports the Jackie Robinson Foundation's college scholarship programs and the Jackie Robinson Museum, opening in 2019. Visit foxsportssupports.com to learn more.
Well, if Wade Miley is going to be on his game today, the left side of the infield should have plenty of work, because if he's pitching to the spots he wants to, there's going to be a lot of pull side ground balls. And look for that to be the storyline if he's successful.
The batter is Kike Hernandez. Here's what we're going to see in this game too. We're going to see an at bat or 2 by David Freese, and we'll see an at bat or 2 by, pick another right-handed batter, either Taylor or Puig, and eventually Max Muncy will get into this ball game, and eventually Cody Bellinger will get in this ball game, and maybe Jack Peterson as well. 2 balls and a strike. Big swing by Kike Hernandez. That's because of the presence of all those good right-handed relievers for Craig Counsell in his bullpen, and because of the presence of those good hitters on the bench to start this game for Dave Roberts. 2-1. Hard hit. 2 out. Right at Shaw.
And that's a big part of what the plan for Craig Counsell. It's a little bit harder to come off the bench and get locked in than the continuity of having your at bats as a starter. So he's banking that maybe, you know, I can mess up with the flow of that powerful lineup over there by mixing and matching and get them pressing, because that's really the idea, is to get them pressing to swing outside of themselves and make outs.
There's Yasiel Puig, hit .267 during the regular season. Last night got in for an at bat in a key spot and struck out. So 0 for 1 in this NLCS. Here's a 1-0. 2-0. The reason why I said in the first inning it just has a different feel, though, is because Josh Hader is not available.
Absolutely. He's not available after pitching 3 innings, and that takes away just the thought from Dave Roberts.
Puig pops it up, foul ground, Kratz. A 1-2-3 inning after 1.5 in Milwaukee, no score. Presented by Google Assistant on Fox. This postseason, T-Mobile is again going to bat for hurricane recovery, and you can help every time you tweet using hashtag HR4HR. T-Mobile will donate another $1 to Team Rubicon. Bottom of the second, first up, Moustakas takes a ball. Moustakas a hit last night. Breaking ball is called up and in. Ryu wanted it, didn't get it. 2-0.
Moustakas is going to be defended this way pretty much 70 to 75% of his plate appearances, which means the shift is in well effect.
And he hits right into it. Good time to show that. 1 out as Moustakas grounds out to Hernandez. Batter will be Travis Shaw.
Well, Shaw has had a tremendous season with power, but most of that power has come against right-handed pitchers to the tune of 30.
Guys didn't have to move. Same shift, back-to-back hitters, Moustakas and Shaw.
Can I just say, I mean, I know, watching a lot of baseball, and in the regular season, rarely do guys bunt. But I am more than surprised in the postseason when you want to get something going for your team, why you wouldn't try to get on base or to create something, because every time you get on base in the postseason, it's a rally, and that's not the case in the regular season. But this amount of shifts that we're seeing, some point somebody's got to try to alter that.
Well, the guy at the plate, Travis Shaw, beat the shift with a bunt hit 3 times this year. Shift on that graphic on the right, and the count 1-2. It doesn't make you a dinosaur, by the way. We talked to Kristen Yelich before yesterday's game. He said, I'm not opposed to doing that. If they're going to shift, I'm going to drop 1 down, because you know what happens the next time? They don't shift.
Yeah. Well, I can promise you it's going to happen in this series where you're going to be down by 2. The shift's going to be on, and somebody's not going to bunt.
Well, I watched you talk about it with Joe Davis during the division series with Muncy at the plate, game 4 in Atlanta.
Yeah, again, now I'm not saying every single person. There are some guys you definitely want them to hit the ball over the fence. But as this series plays on, and if it's going to be that tight series we expect, that could be the difference.
Still 1-2. Does it surprise you as a guy who threw side sessions, who threw bullpens, that a guy like Ryu can go through a year and not work between starts?
You know, some guys are amazingly gifted to just, as they say, I pitch with feel and not so much with structure or routine.
Almost framed for strike 3. Instead, it's 2-2.
I'll give you an example. Lance McCullers told us that he never throws his curveball warming up, and yet he threw 24 in a row in the game.
Right.
Like he said, he has such great feel for it that's an example of how, if you've got the feel for it, you don't need to keep harping on throwing it once it is second nature.
2-2. A strikeout is the second of the night for Ryu. And he is on so far. Today's telecast is presented by Google Assistant and is sponsored by MasterCard. So with 2 out and nobody on, Eric Kratz, who was called out on a low pitch last night for a strikeout after taking over in the 8th inning, 0 for 1 with that strikeout, and he put up an argument. Craig Counsell jogged out there to make sure that his only remaining catcher wasn't ejected for arguing with home plate umpire Scott Berry. And Berry did a good job of not just reacting off the way Eric Kratz reacted. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, he sure did. And that could have been chaos for the Brewers. I mean, there really wasn't an option for who was going to be the emergency catcher. That guy was already out of the game.
That's Perez, Hernan Perez. 1-1. Kratz, line drive, inning over. Guess who's coming to the booth, kids? Wake the kids, phone the neighbors. Here comes you.
Hey, how about getting your foot off my shoulder?
Hey!
State Farm, beautiful fall day outside on the 13th of October. Happy Saturday to you. Inside, it's perfect. And Austin Barnes leads it off with Ryu, the pitcher, on deck, and then Chris Taylor. No score, 3rd inning, game 2. Are we getting stiffed by Euchre or what? Smoltz, did you say something to him to tick him off? Now your mic doesn't work. Yeah, good. I'm on my own. Here is a pitch outside. 2 balls and a strike. Barnes, just a 205 hitter during the regular season. That catches the bottom part of the strike zone, and the count evens at 2-2.
All right, it's back.
Hey,
I'm back, Joe.
I was so scared for. Thanks for that. Never seen so many audio guys spring to action. Here comes you. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and time is called. They called time because they knew Bob Euchre finally showed up on the television. Hi, buddy. We just checked in and we heard you over next door hawking free burgers. That's a big deal up here now.
Yeah, this George Webb deal, man. 12 in a row. 12 in a row. Everybody gets a free burger.
And the last time it happened was '87, Joe.
That's right.
Gave away 170,000 burgers.
170,000 burgers, and there was a young 12-year-old Craig Counsell who was here for the biggest game during that streak, and now he's the manager.
Yeah.
Here's Barnes. Nice play by Miley. A slide, a grab for out number 1. How you doing? Are you? You are my idol.
I am what?
You are my idol. That's how I'm going to finish that sentence.
Yeah, I'm what? I suppose. Great to see you guys.
I just think this game and Bob Uecker, the two go together so well. This game has kept you so young. This game has been so good to you. I know you like to make fun of your career and everything, but man, it's just a joy to be around you.
I tell you what, I love this game, Joe, and you know that. And Johnny, I've been around you guys for a long, long time. In St. Louis, lucky to be there in '64 when they won the World's Championship, and everything that's taken place since then. Everything revolves around baseball.
And you know, I saw it with my father. I saw an aging man who couldn't get enough of being around younger players, and I saw how it just pulled him down in a good way toward the younger set. And I see you in the clubhouse. These guys can't get enough of being around you as the count evens at 2-2. I love seeing players come up to you. They know how special you are. That's cool to me.
Well, I've had a great time doing it, and talking about your dad, who is a great friend and one of the greatest ever.
That's a fair ball. Ryu will jog it. Moustakis makes the play for out number 2.
But you know, being around your dad, if you didn't enjoy being around your dad and enjoy baseball, then you need to do something else. You didn't like sliced bread either. But you know, to be around these guys, they do keep you young. And yesterday, and throwing out the first pitch. Now, I knew if I didn't go to the mound, they were really going to get on me about it. So
right.
I did that and had a good time, and everything was great.
But you did warm up.
Yeah, you did.
I have inside information that you went and threw for about 15 minutes to make sure that you could basically get it to the plate.
I did, yeah. And I didn't want to put too much on it because Counsell had a game to manage. I didn't want to take any chances doing that. So yeah, I threw him a lob shot, and yeah, he's one of my favorites. I've known him since he's a little kid. Long time.
Yeah, because his father was in the front office.
Yeah,
here.
he worked in the PR department.
And so he was a little boy around the ball club and was actually there in St. Louis the last time and the only time the Brewers were in the World Series.
Exactly. Yep.
As a 13-year-old.
He's a good one. One of those guys that I remember a few years back when Mark Attadazio was talking about a change and you know, manager with Ron Renicky. And I remember talking to Mark about Craig Counsell, and I said, you know, if we bring anybody in here, we got to bring Counsell down here first.
Well, here's a strikeout of Taylor, a 1-2-3 inning, and we'll continue in the bottom half with Bob Uecker. There you are. I must be sitting in the front row. You think they love this guy? And with good reason. No score.
Colorado.
First pitch swinging, and Arcia flies into left for Kemp. 1 out. All right, Uke, I don't want to burst your bubble or kill your image. I know you were a very good defensive catcher. I know they rounded up to get your career batting average to 200. All that stuff. A native Milwaukeean who was the first native Milwaukeean to be a Milwaukee Brave.
Yes.
A world champion. You've been broadcasting with the Brewers since '71.
48 years. This is 48.
Unbelievable. You do. I want to do something for Brewer fans and Packer fans along those lines. I'm going to get up and leave.
Could I ask you one question before you leave?
No.
How did you get here so quick from the football game the other day? Did you drive? You didn't drive.
No, I didn't. I didn't drive. Fox flew me. I'm out of here. You pick it up. Go.
All right, Joe. Thank you very much. Absolutely, with Wade Miley now. Rio. In and over, a strike on a fastball. Smoltzy, I'm happy to work with you too, man. Always one of my favorites.
What were you thinking when Woodruff hit that home run yesterday?
I tell you, it was no cheapie either.
Oh,
he hit
my.
it. Coming back, a breaking ball, and he missed a little bit high. Even now at a ball and a strike. You were an outstanding pitcher. You're a great pitcher. You had to feel good about that, didn't you?
Oh my gosh, it's the greatest feeling in the world. And I was telling him after the game, or today,
hit fair down the left field line. Wade Miley will turn, and he's going to try for 2 as that ball got away from Kemp in left. Now that had to make you feel good again right there.
Yeah, anytime you can help yourself or make it tougher on the opposing pitcher. And look, this is a ball down the other line. That's a Glavin special, as we called it. And that ball gets away from Kemp, and now they get a chance with a runner in scoring position. But I think anytime you get a chance to frustrate the other pitcher, put a bunt down, or in this case, get a hit, as we see Woodruff cheering on the boys. It's a good feeling. But what I was saying is, if that inning was quick after hitting a home run, it is so hard to go back out and pitch after the adrenaline rush. He said that long inning helped him a lot.
I'll tell you what, he's one of the better throwers in the league. He's up in the upper 90s all the time. But the power that he showed, Lorenzo Cain, a strike on the outside corner, the power that he showed, and I got a bigger kick out of him in the dugout when he was in there popping hands and punching people and everything else. And one of our guys ended up on the disabled list. 1 strike on Lorenzo Cain. Brewers with a runner at second. And 1 man out here in the bottom half of inning number 3. Cain is swinging a miss. Rio, a little better fastball that time. 0-2 on him.
Well, this is where Cain gets tough. 2 strikes. Unlike really overall baseball that has 1 swing and that doesn't deviate, Cain will do everything he can to get the ball in play with 2 strikes. He has a lot of pride and the ability to put the bat to the ball.
He's one of those guys that uses the whole field. You're right, Smoltzy. Yep. And they play him slightly to right. Gap in left center field for him. Took one a little bit low. Ball 1 and strike 2 on Lorenzo Cain.
And I really think that's as simple as he's played the game long enough where the reward system for him was not launch, lift, strikeout, walk, and homer. He played on a championship team that really modeled the Kansas City Royals about finding the ball with 2 strikes.
Rio all set. 1-2 offering on Lorenzo. Half swing. Did he go? And he did. And a strikeout to Lorenzo Cain.
He tried to hold up, but he just couldn't keep the barrel from behind the plate on a really good pitch down. And now I know it's a left-hander as you see Cain reaction. I know it's a lefty on left situation here, but it's also the MVP of the league is up.
I'll tell you what, this guy against some of the harder left-handers throwers in the league, either league for that matter, it doesn't bother him. It doesn't make any difference. Little high with the fastball from Rio.
Now, having been on second base in these situations as a pitcher, you're hoping a double is hit.
Exactly. I understand that. 1 ball and no strikes. Yelich. Base hit his first time up. Ryu coming back, smash on the ground at first, and it's going to be played easily by David Freese.
This was a pleasure.
Good being with you, Johnny. Really great being with you and Joe. Thank you very much, guys.
Presented by Google Assistant is sponsored by Charles Schwab. Own your tomorrow. The best way to stay up to the second this October, follow MLB on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where I am certain most of the tweets from people in Wisconsin are, oh, Buck's back.
No.
Bring Euchre back to the microphone. How great is that guy? I just love him.
Yeah, it's amazing. I would, you know, I always see people that have been in the game for a long time and go, I hope I'm like that. Yeah. To play as long as I did and to observe.
Here is Turner hitting into the shift, and Arcia makes the play. I mean, he's approaching his mid-80s. He is sharp as attack. He's still hilarious. I'm sure there's pressure on him every time he's in a group to have to be funny. He loves being around the ballpark. I was serious when I said he loves being around players, and they love being around him. When they clinched, he told us off the air, when they clinched and beat Colorado, the players said, we're not celebrating till you get down here. And if you don't come down here, we're coming up to the booth to you.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing when you think about that. And as much fun as he had down there, he didn't have a change of clothes.
Here's one left side. Freese, who had a home run taken away his first time up. Grounds to Moustakas. 2 out in the 4th. Still no score. Mr. Baseball, as dubbed by the great Johnny Carson. There he is with a tuba. He caught fly balls during batting practice with that tuba, by the way, and that got him fined because it obviously ruined the tuba. He is a Ford C. Frick Award winner. That means he's a Baseball Hall of Famer. He was the star of Mr. Belvedere. And yeah, good seats, eh, buddy? Up in the top row. And he just is a guy that loves to have fun, and he's usually the butt of the joke, which tells you all you need to know. People that can laugh at themselves, I think they can live a pretty stress-free life even in this world.
Absolutely. And you know, this time of the year, usually it's about the Packers, and right now it's about the Brewers, so I'm sure he's enjoying that part as well. Playoff baseball here in Milwaukee, as you're seeing by the fans in this stadium, is pretty exciting because they don't get a chance that often to celebrate it.
Counts 3-0 on Machado, so that means one thing to me. We just got one Hall of Famer on, representative of the Brewers.
Yep.
And we go to LA. Here's one left side, deep in the hole. Arcia, wrong throw, and Machado's not running. Arcia made the play, had to double clutch, and Machado didn't hustle. No score after 3.5. First pitch low for a ball to Ryan Braun, underway in the bottom of the fourth. Still no score. One hit for the Dodgers, 2 hits for the Brewers. Wade Miley's doing his part. Hyunjin Ryu trying to match him. That one's up the middle. Good defense with regard to positioning, and Kike Hernandez gets the out.
Well, the Brewers are in a great spot right now. And if you can get 4 scoreless innings out of Wade Miley, and he's been pitching really good for him, that buys you the ability to go to your pen. And really now it looks like they're going to get more than that 4 innings at the rate he's going. So the formula for the Brewers has to be close early. We're going to win it late with our pen.
Here's Aguilar, who flied to right his first time. He homered to right last night in that breaking down and in, ball one. Not only is Miley pitching well, he's got his first extra base hit since 2013.
I don't know what they're doing over there on the Brewers side for their pitchers, but they're checking in.
1-0 pitch.
You think about it. I mean, in this whole series, it conceivably could be pitchers might only get, what, 7 at bats? I mean, when you think about how they're going to be used, pinch hitters, changing pitchers, and then throwing in double switches. But already a double and a home run.
2-0 pitch. It's ball 3. No walks on the ledger for Ryu yet. Miley signed a minor league deal right before spring training started. Last spring start, strained his groin, rehab, came back, then an oblique strain, rehab, came back. How's the number 9 spot doing for the Brewers with those two guys? And Domingo Santana mixed in as well. There's a fastball on 3-0 right down the middle, and Ryu didn't let up to throw a strike. It's 3-1. Last night the story was Brandon Woodruff. Pitched 2 perfect innings, struck out 4, and homered off Kershaw. That's into left, and hit number 3 on the night for Milwaukee. And hit number 3 this postseason for Aguilar. The MLB postseason continues tonight with Game 1 of the ALCS between the Astros and the Red Sox. That's on TBS. Followed tomorrow by Game 2. Then on Monday, after the travel day tomorrow, will be in LA, Game 3 of this series. Coverage starts at 6:30 Eastern on FS1. 1 on, 1 out for Moustakas.
Modified shift here with Machado kind of playing drawn in just in case he bunts, which we've already discussed rarely happens. But the lineup here, 2 lefties in a row for Ryu, Moustakas and Shaw.
And for his career, Ryu against left-handed batters has allowed an average of 284, 1 home run every 33 at bats. He's actually better against righties, 242 with a home run every 41 at bats. That's down and away, and a count 2-0.
Previous playoff game, Ryu was almost ahead of every hitter he faced. Put in the Braves lineup, didn't know what was coming. He threw 3 different pitches for strikes whenever he wanted. Different lineup here. Brewers put pressure on.
Again a 3-0 count, as it was with Aguilar. I'm sure Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, who made his career hustling, stealing bases, scrapping to get by, is not appreciative of Machado not running out that ground ball to win the top of this 4th. 3-0 pitch is right down the middle. With a guy like Kemp to follow him, unless he's hurt, and that's always, you know, a possibility, or something's not feeling right. But that's the old adage. If you're healthy, the easiest thing to do in this game is to run hard. 3-1. Moustakas fouls it away, full count.
Well, this time of the year, so many things, right? I mean, nothing's easy. So 2-out rallies happen. There's so many things that you never know because of pressure and tension how the game's going to shape out. And really, the Dodgers did that to the Braves. 2 outs, nobody on. Next thing you know, 3-run homer, hit by pitch, walk. So a lot of things can happen if you just don't assume.
1 on, 1 out. It was 3-0. Now it's 3-2. That is foul. Showed you that 10-game hitting streak that's alive and well for Moustakas, and that goes back to his time wearing a Royals uniform in the postseason. He's hitting every game this postseason. 0 for 1 tonight.
Now 3-2. Moustakas will chase away. He has one of the higher percentages of pitches away that he'll go after. See if on a 3-2 count Ryu can get the ball in the outer third part of the plate.
Jammed him, fouled back, and out of play. So the hitting streak dates back to 2015 ALCS with the Royals. He hit in all 5 games of that World Series against the Mets. And he's hit in each postseason game so far in his new uniform with the Brewers, picked up in July. Free agent to be. 3-2. Struck him out, and a big out to battle back from a 3-0 count. That's the 4th strikeout of the day for Ryu.
What a great changeup, lefty to lefty changeup. I mean, this is an outstanding pitch that you wouldn't think if you're Moustakas you're going to see, and completely fools him. Aguilar was bouncing off of first base trying to create a problem for Ryu, and that cool customer type approach so far has been paying off for the Dodgers lefty.
We jam Shaw. He fouls it back toward us and Bob Uecker. Strike one. So where I was going, by the way, let me finish, is when we go to LA, I know I've asked him, I feel like every postseason, and the Dodgers are always in the postseason these days, to have Vin join us.
Yeah.
And I will walk away and I may not come back. You may be working with Vin for the rest of the game. I'll go eat at Craig's or do something. There's the throw to first, and Freese was moving around and had to leap to grab it. That picked everybody off.
Freese is a big guy, and you wouldn't know it when you see Aguilar, who is huge.
Kind of a quick pitch there, and that's strike 2. Talk about a pitcher with feel, and you watch this big left-hander. He'll vary his windup. He has a different look from time to time. He'll drop down a little bit, come over the top a little more, put something on, take something off. He's good, and he's locked in. And this game is locked in, a scoreless tie through 4 in Game 2. Back after this from your local Fox station. who was the 2011 NLCS MVP?
The 2011 National League Championship Series MVP was David Freese.
Right again. Just flat out cannot stump Google Assistant. Here's Kemp. Gets it off the end of the bat. Kane barely has to move. Kemp slams his bat down. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 5th. And there is David Freese, MVP of the NLCS. There are the numbers: 3 homers, 9 RBIs, and then, well, he was part of the big moment in Game 6 of the 2011 World Series twice. In the 9th inning, down by 2, down to their last strike, a 2-run triple, and then the game-winning home run in the 11th.
1 foot away today from his 4th home run, robbed by Kane.
That came back in the 1st. Here's Kike Hernandez. He takes a ball.
Well, rhythm has been outstanding for Miley. He gets the ball, gets on the mound, he's ready to go. Sneaky quick. And the deception of everything that he tries to do so far has been spot on. A pitch away, a pitch in, looks like a strike, ends up a ball, ground out, and a couple pop-ups.
Tom Verducci is down in the dugout, and Tom, this is a guy that kind of a throwback, kind of like a Ray Miller type pitcher. Get it, throw strikes, let's go.
That's why I call him Commissioner Manfred's favorite pitcher. Right? Pace of play. He's one of the fastest working pitchers in baseball. And Joe, it really dates to his days in college at Southwestern Louisiana University. The coach told him, work quickly and never turn your back to the catcher. And watching him tonight, that's exactly what he's doing. Never leaves the rubber. And guys, what I noticed before every pitch, these infielders, every one of them on the toes, never on the heels.
That's right down the middle, struck him out, and number 3 on the day for Wade Miley. And Hernandez didn't agree.
Wanted it up, but painted it. There really wasn't much to question there. That one easily a strike.
It's right down the middle. 93 miles an hour. Good velocity in this game from Miley. He's made 2 good starts, now 3 good starts against the Dodgers this season alone. Went 4 2/3 in Game 3 of the division series in Colorado. 6-0 win. Didn't pitch enough to get the victory, but got the Brewers well on their way to finish off that sweep.
And even though it's limited in what he's done this year, it's been fantastic. He keeps the ball in the yard, and he's just been on top of his game when the Brewers need it the most.
Barely huffing and puffing. That's a strike. 1 and 2. He's made it look easy. Puig fights it off. Come into a game talking about the Brewers and you think bullpen before you think starter. Wade Miley made us think and talk about the starter. We'll leave the bullpen for later. 2 and 2. And by the way, the deeper he goes, the more those big left-handed bats on the bench for Dave Roberts sit on the bench.
Exactly.
Puig gets under it. Only question is, can Braun find it in the sun? The answer is yes. Halfway through Game 2. Pitchers duel. No score. Is presented by Google Assistant, an easier way to get things done with just your voice. And is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. That's Matt Gangle, our director, just getting it done. A POV camera on one of the sausages from yesterday's sausage race. And I need to mention our producer as well, Pete Francesca, guiding us through these games as he always does. First pitch is a ball to Eric Kratz in a nice moment. His son, I believe it was, if I heard it right, as we were coming back from break, got to introduce him for this at bat over the PA system. That was cool. Taylor moves from center to left. Cody Bellinger comes into the game in center. That means Matt Kemp's day is finished. Bellinger bats fifth. 1-1 to Kratz outside.
Well, these two batters are going to determine strategy-wise in what Craig Counsell does or doesn't do with his hot pitcher, who is due up third in this inning. Of course, he has only given up one hit and is cruising, but scoring opportunity might change that.
That's up the middle. Great positioning. Hernandez, bad throw, low but out. What a play. First that had missed the big body of Ryu, and then over the bag, Kike Hernandez, a brilliant pick, a low throw, and Freeze did the rest.
How he got out of the way is incredible, and that's two squared up at bats for Kratz. Nothing to show for it, though.
And good work by Freeze, who is known predominantly as the third baseman. It was a long enough hop where it made it easier on Freeze instead of one of those medium hops that handcuff a guy. Here's Arcia into center. Bellinger just into the game. Goodbye. Arcia goes deep, and it's 1-0 Brewers in game 2. The Brewers have hit 3 home runs in this series, 2 from the 8-9 spots.
And if the information is correct, first home run he's hit off a starting pitcher all year. All year.
Well, he's got 5
relievers.
3 regular season, now 2 in the postseason, and Miley, who digs in, has a lead.
It's amazing when things are going good. Boy, this team is full of confidence. The Brewers, anyway, anyhow, many pieces to get it done.
There's strike 2 on Wade Miley, who doubled his first time. And that ball just got out. Bellinger is a big-bodied center fielder, rangy. He went up and didn't miss it by much. At least it didn't look like it from here.
But he was playing so shallow, he had to go a country mile to get back there. If he would have been obviously playing deeper, that might have been a play kind of like Kane, but
yeah, where he had more time to get set by the wall. But I don't know, tough to see from this far away. Didn't clear by much, but Arcia, the latest hero for the Brewers, that is outside. 2-2 on Wade Miley. Miley's not mailing in this at bat. Making Ryu work.
Yeah, all at this point, you just try to make it tough. Make him throw extra pitches. Make him have a carryover effect if he has to keep trying to grind to put you out.
7th pitch of the at bat. And he's worked the count full. We'll go back and look at the home run after Miley does something here with 1 out in the 5th, and the Brewers on top by 1. Pitch number 9 of the at bat. Let's go back to the home run and pick up what you were talking about, how shallow Bellinger was and how far he had to go.
Yeah, he had to go quite a ways, and you see on the run, if he could have got the angle, because he was running trying to track the ball ended up being out of his reach anyways, but to the left side of him.
How about Miley? 2 for 2. That was a good at bat.
Great at bat. Locked in the whole time, even shortened the stroke and just outside of the leap.
Woodruff, the pitching and hitting hero last night, and he loves what he sees. 1 on, still only 1 out. Back to the top of the order, Lorenzo Cain. Curveball doesn't get the call. 7, 8, and 9 hitters. 7 for 16. 2 walks, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 5 runs. The early offensive story for the Brewers.
And I'm here to tell you, in the National League style of baseball, if that keeps up, they're going to win. I mean, that's hard to get that production from that part of the lineup. When you talk about how good the production of the top 5 guys are, they're top heavy statistically, and they have made the Dodgers pitchers work extra hard for everything that they've gotten, and Ryu has been real good. It's just been hard to get quick outs and clean outs.
That's a strike, 2-1.
Whereas on the other side, the illusion of the strike that becomes a ball has gotten the Dodger hitters to make a lot of quick outs and kind of easy outs so far in this game.
You saw Ryan Madsen get up in the bullpen. Ryu trying to keep it now a 1-run game. 2-1 pitch is ripped into the corner. This ball is down and to the wall. Miley will dig for 3rd. He'll stop there on a double by Cain.
Inside that he liked it, hooks it away from Taylor. You see the pitch and the unorthodox way that Cain kind of leans back. And now an interesting decision here for the Dodgers. You've got Yelich at the plate, a base open, Braun on deck, Madsen warming up. Tough sledding.
And here comes Dave Roberts. This happened in a hurry. A 1-out home run by Arcia, followed by a long 10-pitch at bat by the pitcher Miley. He gets his 2nd hit. Then the double by Cain, and now that's it for Ryu. And Ryan Madsen, who joined this team in season, 38-year-old right-hander, comes right into the fire. Arcia dancing all the way around the bases. He's made it 1-0 Brewers here in Milwaukee. Contender Will Greer in number 6 West Virginia take on Iowa State. Then at 10:30 Eastern, number 19 Colorado battles USC. That's tonight on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Well, Ryan Madsen came in and issued the intentional pass to Christian Yelich. Not a big surprise. So they just send him to first, and the bases are loaded. 1 out, and Ryan Braun at the plate. Madsen will work from the windup.
Yeah, interesting here, working out of the windup. Pitcher at third, running. Usually you want to be out of the stretch.
Not hard hit, tough play. Runner comes to the plate. Out at first. Brilliant play by Machado, but it's 2-0 Brewers as Braun gets the RBI. And that was Miley running. And Machado had no play at the plate.
No, he didn't. They were playing back for double play depth. But even if there was an opportunity to have a play at the plate, if you're out of the windup, you're giving the secondary lead too much at third base. So that's what they hoped to get a double play ball, but he didn't hit it hard enough. Great play to get the out.
Clearly out at first is Braun, who gets the RBI, and Miley is the one who got this little rally going with his 1-out hit after the home run. Now second and third, 2 out for Aguilar. You know, it's not a small point when a guy like Miley is running.
Yeah,
you can kind of have the best of both worlds. You can lay back and hope for the double play ball, and if you don't get the double play ball, if you work out of the stretch, you can keep Miley maybe a little closer and don't give him that huge jump.
Yeah, I was surprised. Obviously, Madsen feels much more comfortable deliver his pitches out of the windup because he's in the windup again here with 2 outs.
Strike to Aguilar.
Which allows Yelich, who's got great speed anyways, to get a huge lead on any contact play. But when the bases are loaded, less than 2 outs, you want your options open, and pitching out of the stretch, to me, would have been the best version, especially with a pitcher at third running.
Strike 2 on Aguilar, and if Madsen can get out of this and keep it a 2-0 game, I think the Dodgers would feel pretty good about it. Ryu goes 4 1/3. So far, 2 runs, 6 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and a home run. Reaching, and that's foul. So Wade Miley is the lead runner and able to get a decent jump. And he was ready and scored without a play. Got his pants dirty. Right over the bat. 0-2 pitch, and he struck him out. Good work by Madsen to limit the damage. Well, Lorenzo Cain back in the first inning robbed David Freese up over the wall. In this inning, Cody Bellinger out of his reach off the bat of Arcia. Another run, and it's 2-0.
Turn on Do Not Disturb.
Sixth inning rolls in. Wade Miley rolls back out there. He is pitching a beauty. The only hit, a 1-out single by Turner the opposite way. In the meantime, he's gone 2 for 2 at the plate. He's had a home run from his shortstop Arcia. It's 2-0 Milwaukee. It's Austin Barnes now. Brian Dozier is in the on-deck circle, and then back to the top of the order and Chris Taylor. So that'll be it for Ryan Madsen. did a nice job again. 1-1 pitch. Jammed. Little fly ball to left, and Braun glides in. 1 out. Our Budweiser game summary. Arcia with a home run just a moment ago in the bottom of the 5th. Ryu not bad, and it kind of unraveled there in a hurry, and Wade Miley has been the surprise here this afternoon.
He's been great, and you can pitch through this deep lineup if you make your pitches, and that's exactly what Wade Miley has done. And this is a big inning because cardio was the issue last inning. On base, ran a lot, scored, was on his feet a lot, and comes out and gets the first hitter. That's always a big part for a pitcher who's been out there. And you see the offense today. The Dodgers have struggled. They don't hit the long ball. So far in the postseason, manufacturing runs has not been a strength.
Dozier pinch hitting from Madsen takes a strike. Bryan picked up, added to this Dodger roster from Minnesota, hit 182, 5 homers with LA, 1 for 3 this postseason. He's in the hole here, 0-2. Jammed him on the infield. Arcia. 2 out. Today's telecast, presented by Google Assistant, is sponsored by Indeed, the world's #1 job site. By IBM, let's put smart to work. Last night, Craig Counsell brought in Josh Hader for the 5th, 6th, and 7th. He got 2 strong from Woodruff after Gio Gonzalez, the starter, went 2. He hoped for more out of Miley here in game 2 because of all that work by the bullpen. They used 7 total pitchers, 6 out of the pen, and Miley has gone above and beyond.
Well, if somebody gets on, I think he comes out of the game. So he's just stealing outs right now as Craig Counsell, in my opinion. Right-hander warming up in the pen. Of course, Justin Turner is on deck. So to me, if Taylor gets on, I think that's going to be it for Wade Miley. And as a pitcher, you kind of know that, kind of sense where your end point is based on the way the team kind of runs their business. You just don't want to give him that opportunity.
Corbin Burns getting loose. Talented right-hander in his own right. That is a strike, and it's 2-2. Into center field, and that ball is down for a base hit. The top of the 6th inning continues, and we'll see if that move is made. Looks like he's going to stick with him. No, he slow played it. He was in no rush to get out there. Turner was announced, and Miley is disappointed. That hit by Taylor ended a streak of 16 consecutive outs by the left-hander who doesn't want to go. Disappointed to see Counsell.
They didn't square one ball up other than freeze, and that ball resulted in an out. This is just what consistently the Brewers have done, and their faith in the bullpen. What a job by Wade Miley.
They'll let him hear it here in Milwaukee.
didn't know it, by Jesus Aguilar, who's trailing him, telling the crowd, thank you very much.
He is fun to watch.
This club loves to have fun, and why not when you've won 12 in a row and you're winning this game 2-0. That was great.
I was walking through to go get something to drink, and the press box was cracking up as I was walking through. And what'd he do? I thought it was Miley, and it was Aguilar who was tipping his cap with the ovation. Aguilar comes out. Shaw goes to first. Perez into the game at second. And Corbin Burns is on the mound. Kind of in that Woodruff category. At the plate, Justin Turner. This guy's got good stuff, John, and is likely a starter of the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could see the theme after yesterday's game. Pound the fastball in the upper zone. Turner was not able to catch up to any of it. And Burns can rush it up there, upwards of 98. He's got a slider, a curveball. Really good stuff.
A quick throw over to first, and Taylor is able to dive back in safely. The Dodgers trying to get a little momentum here in the 6th inning. They've chased Miley after 5 2/3. Only 2 hits. Retired 16 straight before that hit. 3 strikeouts, no walks. A lot of stuff up to Justin Turner, and Burns follows suit.
Yeah, and don't deviate until Turner can show you he can get on top of that velocity. Usually one of the best at staying off of it, and then when he does catch up to it, he's able to make it work for him. But yesterday, a rare day for Justin Turner. 4 strikeouts. Regular season game, I don't think, even with the formula that they have used this year, they would even have thought of taking out Wade Miley. But this is not a regular season game, and they know the Dodgers' power comes from one swing at a time. They can make you pay with the home runs.
Ball and a strike on Turner. Co-NLCS MVP a year ago. Flies one into center. Kane to his left. Inning over. And then makes a friend in the seats in center. Great day today for the lefty. First pitch of the bottom of the 6th inning. He's in for a strike from Alex Wood.
Alex Wood's coming in to kind of keep these two left-handers at bay. Moustakas and Shaw tough on lefties.
Ties up Moustakas with that pitch, 0-2.
And Freddie Freeman hit the first home run off of Alex Wood from the left side in the previous series. But funky, good changeup, good slider, good fastball.
And he fools Moustakas. A swing and a miss struck him out to start the 6th. Hey Google, what time does the sun set in Milwaukee?
The sun will set at 6:14 p.m.
We are. My watch stopped? Yeah. Gosh, it's not even 5 o'clock yet. This thing's. I'm not going to say it. So we've got another hour of dealing with the shadows, which is something that both clubhouses were talking about. Here's Shaw. Did he get enough? Back at the wall. It is gone. Travis Shaw. 3-0 Milwaukee.
Third home run for Shaw against left-handers. A huge one here in the postseason.
That springs Bernie into action. And that's it for Wood. He couldn't believe it. Travis Shaw is some kind of talented hitter. Wood is hot. Brewers are fired up. They lead 3-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Pitching change, Dodgers. What a matchup. Game 1 of the ALCS. Astros and Red Sox on TBS. Followed tomorrow by Game 2. Then on Monday we'll be in LA. That series will be on the travel day, and we'll have game 3. Machado gets the out. One pitch from the right hand of Dylan Floro. And Kratz grounds out to short. There are the numbers. He worked last night. And just to finish, game 3 in LA. Coverage begins at 6:30 Eastern on FS1.
It's been an amazing run so far for the Brewers. I mean, you think about where they were with about a week to go in the season, and now where they are today. I mean, controlling home field here in the National League and really controlling their opponents. They have just never given them much to get going. It's been a dominant pitching performance, hitting when they need to. 12 in a row.
Looking for 13, looking for a 2-0 edge in this series, and they have out-homered the Dodgers 4-1.
Well, I really did feel like this series was going to be filled with a bunch of home runs. I didn't think, and there's a lot of the series to be played, I didn't think that it was possible to keep the Dodgers down from that standpoint, but they sure have done it so far, have the Brewers.
Arcia homered his last time up, his 2nd of the postseason, his 5th of the year overall. Line drive, hard hit, but right at Taylor to end the 6th. Travis Shaw deep to center. 2nd homer of the night for Milwaukee, up 3-0. Back after this from your local Fox station. CS presented by Google Assistant on Fox. Here's Max Muncy off the bench. So now that switch is made with the right-hander. Burns on the mound. Burns got the final out by getting Turner in the top of the 6th. Muncy takes ball 2, 2-0. 35 home runs during the regular season. Batting for Freese and trying to get on in front of Machado and Bellinger.
I really think this is a must-score inning for the Dodgers. They need some kind of spark, and they got to get some kind of momentum going with a game that really has been nothing after Freese's ball that was hit, that was robbed for a home run. Nothing sharp, easy outs. They got to make it tougher here for the Brewers.
Muncy taking all the way. It's 3-1.
This is what will test their lineup. If they don't find ways to manufacture, get hits, create walks, put pressure on the Brewers, then that home run power doesn't really mean anything.
A leadoff walk, and that's got Burns shaking his head. Good start to the inning for the Dodgers, and today's telecast is presented by Google Assistant, an easier way to get things done with just your voice. And is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Having been in enough of these series and knowing that it takes something to really twist or turn the momentum, you don't feel down, but you just can't believe you're in this situation. It's so mental, the adjustments you have to make. Obviously, after this game, they're going to fly home and go to LA, regardless of what the series is. But you want to feel good about something. And right now, the only team that feels good is the Milwaukee Brewers, and they feel good about everything.
We'll see if, and there is now, action for the Brewers out in their bullpen. There usually is. They are up out there. Currently, I don't see a ball flying through the air, but it won't take long, especially after that leadoff walk and with the depth that they have. Machado is trying to make it a one-run game. Instead, it's strike one. Manny Machado is grounded out twice. Homered last night. A solo shot in the second, then drove home 2 late, so 3 RBIs. And facing Corbin Burns, maybe a starter for the Brewers next year. He worked 4 scoreless innings in the division series against the Rockies. Oh, 1. Into left field, hard hit. That ball's down in front of Braun. And the first 2 are on for the Dodgers here in the 7th. Jeffress, the right-hander, who couldn't close it out last night, is getting loose for Milwaukee as Cody Bellinger, representing the tying run, will dig in.
Now, if Cody Bellinger, who's just missed a couple balls statistically this postseason, hasn't shown much success, but many feel like, including his manager, that he's getting close. You can't go up there trying to tie the game with 1 swing. You really have to be as selective as you can and not get too big. And when you get big with your swing, you bring in that slider and changeup.
And this is what the Dodgers are talking about and what we saw here last night in game 1. And it started with his first at bat. The pitcher Gonzalez thought Bellinger got him, and then, well, this ground ball to the right side, hustling all the way, and was initially called safe. They reviewed it, called out. It was the right call. But it's been too long for Bellinger, as you see bottom left, his postseason career. And the way he started last year through the first couple of rounds, the last 3 series, 4 for 43, 21 strikeouts.
Yeah, he had a really good at bat against Hader too. Flew out to center. Again, this is where the maturation of just now a couple years in the game, learning from your experiences before, how you felt when you got anxious or when you got big with your swing.
Big spot for Bellinger, his first plate appearance of the game. Up the middle, a base hit. Muncy will come to the plate. Machado will hold at second, and the Dodgers are on the board. It's 3-1. Jumped on the first pitch, and Bellinger breaks that string.
Yeah, he didn't get too big. He absolutely did what he had to, get up the middle. Like this inning, you just feel having been in enough games and seeing enough series, that the Dodgers had to check in. They had to get a point on the board. And now they're primed for a much bigger inning with first and second, nobody out. And now a pitching change for the Brewers.
Bellinger, how good must that feel to the young first baseman outfielder? He's gone 24 consecutive plate appearances without getting a hit. And it comes at a big time. It knocks out Burns. It brings in Jeffress. There's action in the 7th. Inside here in Milwaukee, it's tense. 3-1 the Brewers lead, 2 on, nobody out. Jeremy Jeffress is on the mound. He allowed 3 inherited runners to score last night against him. He's hit a rough patch here.
Yeah, well, he's got great stuff, and he's got that good split finger and curveball combination. Great matchup here. Peterson loves the ball down, will swing up, but I would think that Jeffress is going to try to get that split below the fastball height. If he can get one fastball to look at, expect secondary stuff the rest of the way. 25
homer season for Jock Peterson. Dave Roberts showing off all this tremendous depth and versatility by his roster up and in ball 1. Jeffress is a fiery right-hander. He's very emotional. It's his 3rd stint with the Brewers, and he's gone from draft pick, starting pitcher, middle relief, now end of ball games, and he's on in this tight spot here in the 7th. Jock Peterson hits it off the end of the bat, shallow right. This ball might drop. It's down, and the bases are loaded on a flare to right by Peterson. Nobody out.
This was a great read, a no man's land for Bellinger. The runner at second can take his time a little bit more and get to third because the throw's longer, but the force out could be at second. Watch this read right here. Okay, he gets halfway, and then right about there he reads it really well and gets to second before they can throw him out. This is the toughest place for a base runner because he doesn't know if that ball's going to be caught to the last end. Great job. And now with Puig up, contact must be made for the Dodgers and get at least a second run, even if he grounds into a double play, because Jeffress is trying to get a strikeout for sure. Strikeout, pop-up.
Nobody out. Jeffress comes set. Bases loaded. Puig, a late swing and a foul tip. Defensively in the outfield, they play Puig to pull just a bit. And those numbers tell you why. And StatCast is powered by Amazon Web Services.
Puig has good speed, but if he's trying to lift this ball and he's trying to hit it in the air, he brings in the strikeout. But if he makes solid contact up the middle, even if he grounds to one of the hitters, you get a run closer, and you're in the 7th inning, 1 run down. I've seen it so many times, bases loaded, nobody out. That is the most stressful a pitcher can be in. If the hitter helps you out, he eliminates some of that stress if he's trying to be the hero right here.
Nobody appears to be in any hurry for this 0-1 pitch. 19 of Puig's 23 home runs this year came against right-handed pitching. 17 of them came on the road. Trying to be a hero in game 2 for the Dodgers. He takes down for ball 1.
And really a much different hitter against right-handers. From game to game, you don't know what kind of at-bats you're going to get, particularly in that game. But there are games where Puig looks locked in, quiet at the plate, and not aggressive.
Strike 2.
So for Jeffress right here, you know that Puig loves the ball down. You want this pitch to be down, but then break out of the zone and see if you can expand him. He rarely chases up with fastballs above the belt, but he will chase down.
Fought it off. The Dodgers struggled when they didn't hit the long ball, even in the series when they dominated Atlanta. With runners in scoring position, they went just 5 for 28. In this series, it's been better, 4 for 8.
Teams that usually have the best statistical category of runners in scoring position are the teams that don't expand the zone. They don't give outs away from the zone. They make the pitcher have to make incredible pitches because this is where the stress should be the highest.
Another foul. Pretty good at bat here. An effort by Yasiel Puig to make contact and make Jeffress work. Try to find a mistake. Next pitch will be pitch number 7. Tried to check, and he did. As the crew chief, Jerry Davis, said no swing.
See, that's where you got to get him. This ball was too far off the plate. That's real close. But on the plate, he would have swung. That's how strong he is. This ball's off the plate, too far. Great effort. to get him to chase out there. I really think you could follow that up again over the plate. Now the downside is leaving it up where Puig can get to it.
One away. He showed how strong he is on the check swing, and he showed how strong he is by shattering his bat over his leg. 1 out.
Yeah, and they were flirting with too many fastballs for me. This is the pitch to get him out, and it's a great breaking ball. And then you see Puig, he doesn't want anything. That bat doesn't work, he said.
Big strikeout for Jeffress.
I've just seen it. I know it's not as easy as you sit here and you talk about it, but if you can eliminate the hit in that situation and put it in play, it's 3-2. Now a lot of pressure on Barnes right here, and he will be thinking about lifting the ball now. He doesn't want to hit the ball on the ground.
Bases loaded. 1 out. Strike 1. The only bench position player left for Dave Roberts is on deck. Yasmani Grandal, the other catcher. The starting catcher's at the plate now with an 0-1 count. Austin Barnes. Time called at the plate, granted by Alan Porter, the umpire.
Machado just hasn't been getting off the bag and going a little bit towards home plate with the pitch. And the reason that's important is if this ball gets in the dirt or puts pressure on the catcher, it's not a big enough lead to score.
And there's an example of it with the 38-year-old veteran catcher Eric Kratz able to block it.
And that's just classic style catching right there. Let the chest deaden the ball. You don't care if you catch this. Watch how he gets down, and absolutely classic. There's no chance that ball gets by him. But for Machado, I think getting a bigger lead here, at least secondary, in creating or anticipating that pitch.
Barnes hit 151 against right-handed pitching this year. Up on the count here. That's high in the count, 3-1.
Well, if you're Barnes now, you lock in on the inner half of the plate. You're the area you like. It's a small bucket where he likes it. Middle to middle in down. Leave everything else alone.
Full count.
That was just a great pitch. I think in this situation, neutral goes the advantage to the pitcher now. I mean, that's just dotting it.
Jeffress with a little slip when he let that pitch go. Still got the strike, a full count.
So tempted to throw a breaking ball off of that pitch right there, even on a 3-2 count. I think he's going to go fastball, though.
Breaking ball, walked him. Wow. And it's a one-run game.
Wow, was that a great take. Either super fooled or just super disciplined where that ball started. 3-2 in that situation to the hitter always senses the bigger players get more aggressive and want to make something happen, but watch him just absolutely spit on that pitch. I thought that would have got a lot of hitters out right there with a 3-2 count and the quality of that break.
Dodgers have made it a one-run game as Machado comes to the plate. Machado with a hit in this inning. The bases are still loaded, only one out. And Yasmani Grandal is announced as the pinch hitter.
Wow, what a sequence right there. I mean, that's the cat and mouse ultimate game. As a pitcher, when you're on the mound, you're preying on that hitter wanting to hit. So based on the sequence, I thought he might throw a fastball, but I have no problem with that breaking ball. That was a swing and a miss breaking ball.
This postseason, T-Mobile is again going to bat for hurricane recovery, and you can help every time you tweet using hashtag HR4HR. T-Mobile will donate another $1 to Team Rubicon. Tying run 90 feet away. Go ahead run in scoring position. Bases are loaded. One out for Yasmani Grandal. The bench is empty for the Dodgers.
Now the ball up is not a favorite of Grandal in this situation. But you see he's the last guy available.
2 for 17 this postseason. 1 for 4 last night. And a tough night behind the plate. 2 pass balls, 2 errors.
And you know he's thinking about it. It's a little bit of redemption right here. Trying to knock in a couple runs that would make him feel a lot better, even though last night was not one of his top games.
Time, and it was Kratz who asked for time. He wants to go out and visit. So a mound visit here to make sure they're on the same page. For those who didn't see game 1, here's the tough night for Grandal. And when we talked to Dave Roberts, I said, was it lighting? Did he have a tough time seeing? That was catcher's interference for an error. Here's one. After you saw the pass balls, he said no, it was a lack of focus. Hard to believe in game 1 of an NLCS. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Good pitch. Strike 1. Good speed on. Bellinger, the lead runner at third. Outside, 2 balls and a strike.
That is such a great effort there, and a good take again. After painting out there, he tried to steal another inch. So difficult coming off the bench. Plate recognition, pitch recognition.
Dodgers down a run, 1 out. Chopper to second. Going to be tough to turn. They get 1, got them both. Inning over. And the Brewers keep the lead. It's 3-2. Time to stretch. What a game. Missed opportunity for the Dodgers to tie or take the lead. As Grandal makes his pinch hitting appearance and bounces into an inning-ending double play. And Jeffress, you have to give him credit. He made some great pitches, came in a tight spot, and eventually got out of trouble.
Yeah, he absolutely did. And he got the right guy to ground the ball into the inning-ending double play.
Hernan Perez is at the plate, takes a strike from Pedro Baez to start the bottom of the 7th. Here are the changes. Jock Peterson, who just pinch hit and singled, is in the game and left. All his versatility. Taylor moves into play second base, and Muncy, who pinch hit, obviously at first. Strike 2.
Well, I said the Dodgers had to score in the 7th inning, but you got to believe they're a little frustrated because with the bases loaded, nobody out, they ended up getting 2 very important runs, but only one once the bases were loaded and nobody out. After scoring one previously, that has to leave them a little frustrated.
Broken bat. Baez fields it. 1 out. Let's go back to the double play, and that's as big a reaction as I've seen from Dave Roberts when this was turned 4-6-3.
Yeah, you see getting the back of the bag right there with the foot, and then coming over with the new rule, freedom to throw the ball to first. No chance with the speed of Grandal. Wow, what a play, what a pitch. Dave Roberts knew that opportunity had a chance to not only take the lead, but more importantly tie the game.
Well, with an empty bench now and going through arms in the bullpen, he's using Baez. This is the 5th pitcher of the game for the Dodgers. That is high to Lorenzo Cain for ball 1. Urias is out there, the young left-hander who pitched last night, allowed a home run. Caleb Ferguson, who we haven't seen yet, Kenta Maeda, and their closer Kenley Jansen. It's down and in, 2-0. That's Ferguson getting loose. Two balls, no strikes on Cain, who's 1 for 3 with a double, a strikeout, a ground out. Three 3-0. The Dodgers had a run home, loaded the bases with nobody out, a strikeout of Puig. Bases loaded walk to Barnes with a good take on a tough 3-2 pitch to force home a run. And then the double play hit into by Grandal. 3-0. 3-1.
Yeah, and that strikeout of Puig really is what helped set up limiting the damage. Some good pitches, some good battles. Puig fouled off some good fastballs, and then ultimately the breaking ball struck him out.
There is no action at the moment for the Brewers in their bullpen. Jeffress hanging around like he's going back out there. That's ball 4. And a 1-out walk to Lorenzo Cain on base for the 2nd time. Today's telecast, presented by Google Assistant, is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you, and by Budweiser, take some out to the game. Live every postseason moment with At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. It's the only place to get it all. Live radio feeds, video highlights, pitch tracking, StatCast, and much more. Download At Bat today. Here's Yelich, 1 for 2 in this one.
Baez not only has to concern himself with Yelich, he's got to concern himself with Cain at first. Just the thought that he might go can speed up the delivery and cause a less than perfect pitch to Yelich. He can take advantage of it.
Number 4 in the National League with 30 steals during the regular season. None so far in the postseason. 1-0 pitch, and he draws a throw instead. Dodgers in the 8th inning will have the top of their order. Taylor, Turner, Muncy. And now there is action for the Brewers in their pen. Soria, who also pitched last night, gets loose.
One thing, Baez has been really good, but he loves his time out there. He's one of the slower pitchers. We saw the fastest pitcher in Miley. This is on the other end.
It all balances out. Here comes a 1-0. 2-0, and Baez is struggling for feel out there. And after the walk with pitches that missed by a lot to Kane, he's 2-0 on Yelich. Rick Honeycutt, longtime pitching coach, good left-handed pitcher in his own day. Honeycutt looking at the charts. First thing has to happen to make the charts relevant is to throw a strike. Yelich gets under it and skies it into right center for Bellinger. 2 out. Our Indeed player resume. Wade Miley is still the star of this game. And the numbers this postseason: 10 1/3, no runs, 5 hits. The first pitcher since 2014 with 2 hits in a postseason game tonight. This afternoon he was outstanding. 5 2/3, no runs, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks.
And you know he was bummed walking off that mound because he was in complete control and felt like he had another 2 innings. The way he was throwing the baseball and keeping this lineup off balance.
Last pitcher, by the way, to get 2 hits, Zach Greinke in 2014 for the Dodgers against St. Louis. As Kane draws another throw.
It was a big out by Baez. He got away with a hanger. Yelich just missing that pitch.
Braun, an RBI ground out his last time. This one into right center field. Bellinger on the move with a sliding catch. What a play by the young infielder outfielder. They move these pieces all over the place. The Dodgers do. Bellinger didn't start in center. Makes a good play here. by Google Assistants on Fox. 8th inning now, top of the order for the Dodgers, down by a run, and Jeremy Jeffress, because his spot didn't come up. Craig Counsell had Domingo Santana in the on deck circle, but when Braun flied out on that good catch by Bellinger in right center, he didn't have to use his pinch hitter, and he sends Jeffress back out to work. Strike one. Taylor 1 for 3.
Well, as you look at these 2 innings the Dodgers have to score at least 1 run, that's in case Milwaukee doesn't add on in the 8th. They're really going to have to do it in the first 5 hitters, because as the 9th inning, if they don't score, when the 9th inning rolls around and they get down to the 9th spot,
pitcher will be hitting.
Yep. And that will add to the strategy of how they play the 9th inning for the Brewers.
So urgency here up top with their lineup. That's upstairs at 95. 1 and 2 on Taylor, who had 3 straight hits from the 6th through the 9th last night. Had a hit in the 6th in this one, trying to get one to start the 8th.
He's thinking about big fly tying it up, I can tell you that.
He's got power. He's not a big bodied guy, but he's hit 18 home runs this year all in.
He's got an all in swing. It won't deviate. 2 strikes here. There will be no, at least he hasn't shown any sign of punching it the other way, or he's looking to drive the ball in the gap and lift it.
Drove one to the wall in right center here last night. That's the ball Kane couldn't catch in the 9th. 1-2. This is going to be a tough play. Moustakas, no chance. And a chopper for an infield hit to start the 8th for Chris Taylor. He hasn't played every day for the Dodgers, but a guy who, when we've seen them in the postseason, he was the MVP of the NLCS a year ago, co-MVP.
Yeah.
And he's got 5 hits in this series already.
And this game's amazing, because that was the same aggressive swing, and he hit it as soft as he's hit any ball so far, and got rewarded with a runner on first.
Justin Turner now.
I'm telling you, when Justin Turner's right, especially if he gets deep in the count, he can shoot the ball through the second base side of the infield with a big hole with the best of them.
Had a base hit to right back in the 1st inning. One of only 2 hits against Wade Miley in his 5 2/3. There's the hole on the right side. Power hitting Max Muncy on deck. Then Machado. Josh Hader, their all-star and their lights-out left-hander, is unavailable for this game too. He's out there in the pen, but just watching tonight at least. That's the plan for Craig Counsell. Sometimes plans change. Corey Knebel is getting loose. Cut back to the phone. This game has come to a screeching halt.
It has, and another tight game, just like yesterday's ended up. You kind of get that feeling that this is the kind of series you're going to see. So much information to process, so many different moves to make. The downside of that is sooner or later one of those guys aren't going to have their best stuff and be on point, and we've seen that from time to time.
One-0 to Turner. Down for ball 2. Talk about the emotion with Jeffress. He tried to keep that in check in years past. Lee Tunnell, bullpen coach for Craig Counsell, has told him to let it go, be you. And it's helped him along to a tremendous 2018. 2-0. High drive into left, back at the wall. The Dodgers are on top. Justin Turner, after a frustrating night last night, goes deep to give LA a 4-3 lead.
Well, Turner finally got the one pitch he has not seen in 2 days. They've been trying to bust him in or throw him up above the hands. And that middle third of the plate, almost a left-handed version of down and in. I pretty much think that's where that pitch was. He didn't miss it. And total redemption from yesterday were 4 strikeouts. There's the split finger down and in. And right in the sweet spot. Did not miss it. He knew it. For the time being, this will be the quietest the crowd has been. This crowd has enjoyed the lead the entire time until right there.
A hit by Taylor, a blast by Turner, and the Dodgers are on top. Of last year's NLCS for the Dodgers combined for a hit and a homer in this inning, and Justin Turner, after a 4 strikeout game in game 1, 2 hits in this one, and his first home run of this postseason to put LA on top in the 8th. 4-3 Dodgers, still nobody out. Corey Knebel in the game, and Muncy takes a ball.
It's been amazing, and you almost sense like the Dodgers knew what their fate was going to be if they didn't get something done, obviously in the 7th and now here in the 8th, because they ran out of options potentially when the 9th man comes to the plate, and that being the pitcher spot.
Dave Roberts knew that Justin Turner would make adjustments. He got a base hit to right against Miley, and now here in the 8th, Jerks one into the seats in left.
You know, what's going to make this series talked about for a lot of people and anyone who likes strategy is there's going to be on whether you like it or you don't. If you're in favor of many more pitchers pitching per game, it's an interesting debate because Wade Miley was phenomenal and came out with a runner on and 2 outs. Doesn't seem like a big thing now.
That's inside to make it 3-1.
Still a lot of outs to cover by this Milwaukee bullpen. And without that guy.
That's Josh Hader, who worked 3 innings last night. It's just a different look out there.
Oh, it is a different look, and it puts things in you know, there's no proper order because everybody's realized here in Milwaukee what their role is, and that could be at any time, in any place, in any inning.
Full count on Muncy, 97 from Knebel. Well, Craig Counsell said after the game last night, and it made sense, that once he got the 2 innings put up by Hader, he wasn't going to use him in game 2 anyway. So let him go another inning. Then he's got 2 days off with the travel day tomorrow, ready for game 3.
Yeah, I understand that, but I think there's a lot of emphasis put on that day off.
Muncy's going to dump one into left field for a hit. He's on base for the 2nd time since entering in the 7th. Let's take one more look at that homer by Turner. We saw an upset Dave Roberts in the 7th. And we see a happy Dave Roberts in the 8th.
And just to finish that thought, the reason I believe sometimes you look at that day off as a benefactor to do things differently in the postseason that you couldn't do in the regular season. And I get it, they've only pitched Hader back-to-back on 6 days, but the element's gone, the surprise, the what if is gone. And so, you know, like I said before this series started, if everything goes right for the Brewers, it's going to be a tremendous formula. But if there's any hiccups along the way, and the longer this series draws out, then you're asking guys to do a whole lot in a short period of time with those 2 days off in between what in essence could be a 7-game series.
Want to know the count on Machado. Left side hard hit. Moustakas starts it. 2 out, and a hard slide by Muncy on Perez. And Perez still turned it.
Well, that was huge in a big way because you know that Craig Counsell would have loved to have Knebel pitch the 9th with the lead. Now he was forced because he got him up to pitch him here in the 8th and then more than likely in the 9th. And there's the slide by Muncy through the bag. You can go through the bag with your slide as long as you don't deviate one way or the other to get the infielder.
Good clean slide by Muncy trying to break up the double play, and Hernan Perez turned it. Well done. All the way around, and with 2 out, nobody on. The batter is Bellinger. He goes after the first pitch again, and this time skies one out behind second. Hauled in by Arcia. But the blast in the inning belongs to Justin Turner. 4-3 Dodgers into the bottom of the 8th in game 2. presented by Google Assistant, is sponsored by Gillette. The best a man can get. As the sun sets on the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Another good game. Last night was a one-run affair, 6-5 Brewers. After the home run by Turner, it's a one-run affair in game 2, 4-3 Dodgers. Baez back to work. Santana at the plate. Domingo was in the on-deck circle the last time the Brewers were hitting. They didn't get to that spot, so here he is hitting for the first time, pinch hitting in the 8th. He had a big appearance last night with a 2-run pinch hit single in the 4th, a stolen base, and then a run scored. .1-0 pitch from Baez is down 2-0.
Yeah, they're going to need Baez, obviously, for however many hitters that Dave Roberts wants him, as the pen is going to be locked and loaded for their first lead here in a while, since Machado hit that solo home run. Game 1.
Ferguson, the lefty. Maeda just got up, the right-hander, and Santana was trying to tie it. 2-1. Brewers will need another pitcher when they take the field in the 9th after Knebel relieved Jeffress. Gets 3 outs, allowed a hit. Good pitch in under the hands, 2-2.
Watch the late movement.
Same spot, same result, and a strikeout starts the 8th.
I think that's going to be it.
And Dave Roberts, who's been able to use Pedro Baez in tight spots. He's had an ERA of under half a run since mid-August. Gets 4 big outs here in this game 2. Ferguson, the lefty, coming in. Moustakas, the lefty, coming up. Panthers taking on Alex Smith and the Redskins, or Jared Goff and the Rams battle the Broncos. Also a good Bears-Dolphins game. Check local listings for the game in your area. And the NFL lost a true legend earlier today. The famous Green Bay Packers fullback passed away this morning at the age of 83. Taylor played for the Packers from 58 through 66. And a big part of 4 Packer championship teams. 8,200 yards, 91 touchdowns as Ferguson deals up and into Moustakas. Of course, Taylor and Horning synonymous with that Vince Lombardi Packers sweep that they ran all those years. So that news was important and sad news for so many in this area of the country who grew up loving their pack. 1-1 on Moustakas. First appearance for Ferguson, and a breaking ball is down and away, ball 2.
Well, the Dodgers love this guy. Over the top fastball, easy gas. You saw the breaking ball. He has above average changeup as well. And pretty good heartbeat to go with it. Not fazed by anything or the moment, it seems like, in his early career.
2-1, 2-2. The switch that the Dodgers made coming into this NLCS was to take Scott Alexander, the lefty, off the list as an active player. He led the Dodgers in appearances, was in the top 10 across the league. And they activated Julio Urias, who pitched last night, gave up a key home run that ended up being the difference in the game. That's down the line, slicing foul. Big surprise to see Urias activated just because after having shoulder surgery, he'd only worked a few games, hadn't had a lot of live action. He's got a wonderful arm, a ton of talent, just 22 years old.
Yeah. Dave Roberts said, though, they like the matchups for what the Milwaukee Brewers lineup provides.
2-2, breaking ball down and in, a full count. Moustakas with that 10-game postseason hitting streak on the line. Down and away, and a wild walk. Tying run is on. That'll bring in Travis Shaw. Big power bat. Here's what happened the last time he stepped to the plate.
Dead pull on the infield and the pitch. Travis sends one to right center and deep. Way back. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Travis Shaw!
The voice of Bob Uecker taking that one over the wall. And the home run call here with the Brewers, and Shaw would like to do it again. StatCast powered by Amazon Web Services. 1 on, 1 out. Ball 1 inside.
Definitely, when I looked at the lineup and saw the back-to-back left-handers, Shaw being the guy, the council made a change, and it proved to be a good one. Even though he only had 2 home runs off the left-handers coming in, that was a big home run. And now they're looking for that power again, possibly here.
That caught the outside part of the strike zone, strike 1. That was against the lefty Alex Wood. "32 more home runs for the young Travis Shaw." Well, they moved him from third to second base defensively when they got Moustakas, who's the runner at first now. 1-1. High and tight.
You would think this is the last hitter for Ferguson. Kratz is on deck.
Maeda's ready in the bullpen. Shattered back. That's Turner making the play and can't get them both. How about that? Turner on the other side of the infield throws to Machado, and they almost got two.
I know Turner's played second before, but when you're playing third most of the time, this is a different angle to which to turn a double play. Playing a deep second base, he turns in, and watch the arm, the closing arm of Machado is just unbelievable to make that play look close.
And that'll do it for Ferguson. He gets it out, walks a man responsible for the man aboard, and that's now Travis Shaw at first. Here comes Kenta Maeda. Eric Kratz is the scheduled hitter. Tying run on, 2 out, 8th inning, game 2. Yes.
On Monday, the Brewers will play the Dodgers at 7:39 p.m. Eastern Time.
Nailed it again. That'll be on Monday after the travel day tomorrow. Coverage starts on Monday on FS1 at 6:30 Eastern. And now before Maeda throws a pitch, he gets a visit from Rick Honeycutt because the Brewers are going to their bench. And they're going to call on former Dodger. He's been around, veteran left-handed hitter Granderson. And obviously these Dodgers are well aware of what, as John Sterling would call him, the Grandy man can do.
He's basically looking to pull, looking for his power side to right field. He's a stingy hitter, won't expand the zone. Very famous for working the count.
I think Craig Counsell's going to go out and just clarify with that visit.
They can, when there's a pinch hitter, you can have a free mound visit. And of course, they needed an interpreter for that mound visit.
So that's why there were quite a few around Kenta Maeda as Curtis Granderson, who during the regular season with the Blue Jays and then picked up by Milwaukee, put together those numbers. 0 for 2 so far this postseason. Maeda, breaking ball, misses, ball 1.
Well, in this situation, see how deep the outfielders are. What they're trying to do is obviously cut off no doubles. They don't want to double to get by anybody there, so they create better angles. certainly they don't want a 2-out run here to score via the double.
1-0 pitch. Granderson, who is 37 years old, and who with the Dodgers down the stretch last year hit just 161, is up on the count 2-0. One of the reasons why you get Granderson and have him active on your roster, he's got 9 career postseason home runs. Maeda does not get the call. And it's 3-0 with Arcia on deck.
Well, that's just vintage Granderson. He's only looking for his pitch. So if that's not his pitch, why would he swing at it?
Over 300 big league home runs. Granderson willing to take a strike. It's 3-1. Came up with Detroit in 04. Three-time All-Star. Trying to deliver a blast for the Brewers. In the air to right. Puig is there. Granderson gave this crowd a thrill. And now quiet. Puig playing deep to his right. Hauls it in. 4-3 LA into the ninth. Xavier Cedeno, who was picked up from the White Sox during the season, comes in. He worked a third of an inning last night, allowed a run. It was a 3-run 8th inning. He was a part of it. Granderson gave the ball a charge, just didn't get all of it. So this big crowd had a moment, but it fell short to end the 8th. Here's a strike from Cedeno to Jock Peterson. Manny Pena has to take over behind the plate because the Brewers pinch hit for Kratz with Granderson. Now Counsell has only one bench player on his side. Left side base hit for Peterson. He's 2 for 2. A flare hit to right his first time up, and now able to find a hole through those moved infielders to start the ninth. And that's going to be it for Cedeno, who was added to the roster for this NLCS. Who's coming up? Puig. So Counsell out to make the change as we play in the ninth inning of Game 2. Michael, donate today by going to redcross.org or text Michael to 90999 to give $10 to American Red Cross Hurricane Relief. 1 on, nobody out, and Junior Guerra takes over for Milwaukee. Interesting story as he bounces one in. He makes his postseason debut. The guy who 2 years ago was a strong starting pitcher. Went 9-3, good ERA. Last year went 1-4 over 21 games. This year started the season in the minor leagues. Part of the rotation, moved to the bullpen. Hasn't pitched since the 30th of September. And he's 2-0 on Yasiel Puig.
Well, he's got a good fastball that complements the curveball, the 12-6 break. And a slider. I'm still amazed when the numbers are glaring as much as they are about Puig, left-handers versus right-hander split. It still amazes me. Every manager's forced to come in and bring the right-hander against Puig versus leave the left-hander in.
Left side, nice pick, Moustakas. Got them both. Well turned by Perez at second base. 2 out, nobody on.
Once the throw got there in plenty of time, easy double play. See Jock having to get down last minute.
The batter will be Austin Barnes, the catcher who drew a bases loaded walk for an RBI his last time, 0 for 2. His first at bats of this postseason as he got his first start.
huge walk in that 7th inning.
Forced home the 2nd run. Double play followed by Grandal off his bat. Kept it 3-2 Milwaukee, but then Justin Turner hit a 2-run home run in the top of the 8th for a 4-3 lead. A ball and a strike on Austin Barnes with the pitcher's spot next. If Barnes extends this 9th. But Maeda, if he should come to the plate, it's not hitting because he's going to stay in the game. Kenley Jansen is coming in the game. Dodgers are out of bench players. Ball 2.
Yeah, kind of a tough spot for Barnes because you almost go up there knowing you're not going to really get much to hit because of who's behind you. So you got to look for one spot and one spot only. Hopefully you get it. You can maybe do your own damage.
There's a strike, 2-2. Junior Guerra misses down and away, a full count.
Well, I'm going to tell you why this is a bigger pitch than what just a traditional 3-2 pitch would be. If he can get on base, he clears the deck because Jansen's going to come in. And in case Jansen gives up a run, then you got the top of the order instead of 9-1-2 in a tie game. So getting on base would be huge for the Dodgers.
He takes strike 3, and Guerra does nice work. Jansen coming in. Arcia, Perez, and Kane coming up. Dodgers trying to split the first 2 games before we head to LA. Sponsored by Hankook Tire. It's the 2-run shot by Justin Turner for the lead in the top of the 8th. His first of this postseason. And while Jansen takes over, something to know about the home run by Turner, who last year in Game 2 of the NLCS hit a 3-run home run to walk it off against John Lackey, gave the Dodgers a 4-1 win over the Cubs. Helped him along to the co-MVP honors from that LCS. As you look at the numbers for Jansen, who had a save in the division series game 2 against Atlanta. Hits the corner, strike 1.
Well, he's a strike thrower and everything cuts. And he's had and shown a little more life lately in that cutter. Some uncharacteristic numbers and some issues he's dealt with.
Garcia pops it up a mile high on the infield, and Turner has out number 1. Just one other note by the home run for Justin Turner in the 8th inning. Turner's home run last year was the 3rd in Dodgers postseason history that turned a deficit into a lead in the 8th inning or later. The other 2, 2013, Juan Uribe off Atlanta's David Carpenter. The one before that, Kirk Gibson. 1988 World Series Game 1. Game-winning home run off Nick. Strike 1 to Perez. Turner trying to get on that list twice now. Jansen trying to end it as he barely missed. Kenley had an irregular heartbeat that shut him down, and he has not been as sharp since he came back. But when he's on, he's virtually unhittable.
Absolutely. And really, the life on the fastball the last 2 times he's pitched has been much better.
It's down for ball 2.
You come into this game and you know one swing can tie it up. So what you're trying to do is prevent traffic on the bases, and he knows that coming in this game, he doesn't have to face Yelich if he gets 3 outs. It's the one guy he wants to avoid facing, because that would mean the Brewers have either got a run on the board or a runner on.
Yelich due up 4th this inning. Here's a 2-1 to Perez. Outside, 3-1. Hernan 0 for 1 since entering this game midway through. Good swing, fouled back, full count. 9 home runs during the regular season for Perez. That's ball 4. Barnes popped up to throw it around. He thought it was strike 3. Instead, it's ball 4, and the tying run's on.
Well, the other thing, when this ball misses below the zone, the other thing that now with Jansen is not fast at all to home plate. A lot of stolen bases against him. Of course, you've got Kane and Yelich, unless Kane somehow hits into a double play. See how Craig Counsell plays it. One of the slowest to the plate.
In case you're wondering, Perez, the runner at first base, stole 11. Was caught 3 times during the season, so he'll run. Kane takes a strike. Kane's already had a huge series. On base 4 times last night, twice in this one. Robbed Freese of a home run back in the 1st. Strike 2.
Jansen did a nice job. He went with the quicker version of his constantly out of the stretch. And now he's ahead 0-2. But as we mentioned to Kane, relentless hitter with 2 strikes.
Just a little acknowledgement by Jansen that he's aware that Perez is, I'm sure, at least thinking about taking second. 1 out, down by 1. Struck him out. 2 out, and this game comes down to a battle between Kenley Jansen and the presumed NL MVP Christian Yelich.
And as bad as you want to see, if you're a Brewers fan, your man on second, you really want to see Yelich hit with a runner on with the opportunity to win it.
36 home runs during the regular season. The bulk of it in the second half when he was the hottest hitter in baseball. Kenley Jansen is aiming for the 15th postseason career save. It would sure be interesting if Perez did steal second, what the Dodgers would do with Yelich. At the very least, you'd be careful with him. But you would entertain putting him on. Right-handed hitting Braun on deck. Strike 1 on Yelich.
Yelich on the year has been really good against right-handed cutters. Now, having said that, not everybody has the cutter that Kenley Jansen has, so take that for what it is. But on the year was hit 474. With 2 home runs against the cutter.
Outfield is deep. 2 out. Two.
He's thrown 2 perfect cutters, tied him up inside.
Brewers have had 2 postseason walk-off wins in their franchise history. One of them in the division series with Moustakas getting it done. Here is the 0-2 runner goes. It's upstairs for ball 1 and a stolen base for Perez.
Yeah, he figured he had to do it right there with 2 strikes. Now you create stress. And now the outfielders can't really play no doubles. They're going to have to come in. Not even an attempted throw. And now you got 3 pitches for Jansen to make the best pitch he can make with 2 strikes on Yelich.
Yeah, and that's the other side of the equation. It comes with 2 strikes on the hitter, so you're 1 strike away from a win. The guy at the plate is the potential winning run, the tying run at second. They'll go after Yelich. The 1-2. Shattered back. Turner. Dodgers win. And Justin Turner, who hit the go-ahead home run in the 8th, makes that play on a broken bat ground ball to get Yelich, and this NLCS is tied at a game apiece.
Well, buckle your seat belts, because I think the rest of this series is going to be similar to this kind of game. A lot of moves, a lot of moving parts, but the Dodgers have found a way to rally and salvage the first two games and go home with a much better feeling on their flight.
Well, we came in talking about the platooning of Dave Roberts in the bullpen and the bullpen versatility for the Brewers. Dave Roberts got to show it all here tonight with that bench. He ends with an empty bench. He ends with only one arm left in his bullpen, and he has his big closer on the mound to shut it down and win the game 4-3. Two fun games here in Milwaukee. Dodgers win this one 4-3. The series is even at 1-1. Let's take you to Los Angeles for more baseball postseason coverage.